How's that? Hey, somehow it got disabled. Let's start this over again. Check 2. Welcome to the 6th episode of Rogue Bard Advice. D&D, TTRPG, Sports and Everything podcast, beginning as Bard Advice, where you, the viewers, send in your questions and I, along with chat, try to answer them. I'm your host. You may know me as the Rogue, the Pirate Archaeologist, Pirate. Some call me Chris. At the top of our show, I would like to take this time to welcome all of our regulars. River, thank you for telling me that my mic wasn't working. Puffy Cheeto, James, the Council of Chris. Welcome in any new individuals joining for their first stream. We'd also like to remind everybody to please like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on those notifications so you get notified that we are going live. Also, rate the podcast, please. And if you haven't already joined the Discord, please do. River popped in a link for the Discord. I, tonight, am dressed in my pirate attire for the Norse Forge gathering. And I'm going to show this. I didn't show this the first time, but I'm also wearing my boots. So, tonight, we have an art corner. We do not have an archaeology corner. The archaeology corner is going to show archaeology corner, but it's going to be a special shout out to somebody who is actually here tonight. We do have 6 questions. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Our first thing for Art Corner, if you guys haven't already seen it on the Discord, Chaz and Mann Shorts have dropped their winning entry for the Jacksonville 48-hour film festival. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going to the Discord or going to YouTube and watching it. It's phenomenal. They did an excellent job. Excellent job. It's something that I would like to see it made into a full feature film. I mean, it's only 7.5 minutes, but it's phenomenal. What's going on? What's going on in chat here? Don't worry about it, Pirate. Personally, I appreciate knowing you haven't been replaced by an AI. I will never be replaced by AI. Never. AI couldn't do this. If Chaz couldn't get replaced by an AI, I couldn't get replaced by an AI. Finally made it to a live. Crimson Honda. Thank you for joining, Crimson. Welcome in. Subscribe to like. Kirk, subscribe to liked. Make sure to like the video while you watch. Yes. Digging the boots in the pics. Thank you, Kirk. Now we need to watch the Puffy Shirt episode of Seinfeld. Hey, the Puffy Shirt actually disconnects here. And if I can do it, there it goes. And it opens up for more comfortable and casual when I'm out and not in my full pirate garb. Now, I did share in the Discord. The Discord's where you guys get special stuff. I did show the Discord my pirate coat that goes with this. There are a few things that are still in process coming in, like my pants. I just have black pants on because that's the color of my pants that are going to be with this outfit. But I've got a maroon waistcoat coming in, and I've got an actual tricorn hat coming in, but my coat is actually in the tailor's because I had to get the sleeves shortened up. The sleeves were extremely long. I got it as a 2X so it'll fit my broad shoulders, but the sleeves are for somebody who's like 7 foot tall and I'm only 5'8". River, it's not that type of special stuff. There is no NSFW on the Discord. But yeah, so that's for Art Corner tonight. Now we have a special shout out through Archaeology Corner. I'm sorry. No, I don't have an Archaeology Corner. I'm just going to do it right here. Instead of having an Archaeology Corner, we here at Rogue Advice and in the Discord and everybody who knows this individual would like to wish a happy, happy, happy birthday to our very own Council of Chris member, honorary Council of Chris member, Puffy Cheeto. Happy birthday, Puffy. Ron had one when he started back in the day. 1987, it was lovely purple. I didn't tell her I was going to embarrass her on live either. So hope she's not mad at me. All right. While everybody in the chat's wishing Puffy Cheeto a happy birthday, let's move on to the first question of the evening. The first question of the evening comes from Kirk. While burying your treasure in a remote and secret location, you dig up an oil lamp with a mysterious aura. Doubting yourself, you go ahead and give it a rub. With a gout of smoke, a figure emerges from the lamp's spout. But the figure isn't what you expected. Instead of a standard genie, this fellow is in a tweed jacket with leather elbows, unkempt hair, and spectacles perched on his nose. When I read that originally, Kirk, I thought of the Doctor from Doctor Who. So, who are you? You ask. I am, he says, the librarian of the Lamp of Alexandria. I have been trapped here since the lamp was buried some 2,000 years ago. And thanks for releasing me, I give you permission to read one book out of my collection. It is extensive, as I was able to preserve all the books from the library just before it was burnt. Which book do you request? Thank you for the question, Kirk. Now, I was thinking on this, and as an archaeologist, and knowing what I know about what was in the Library of Alexandria before it was burnt to the ground, I would like to read the entire collection, or the collection, of Egyptian scrolls, the 10,000 Egyptian scrolls that have a complete and significant history, because I believe that it would shed the light on where Cleopatra and Alexander the Great were buried. To this day, nobody knows where Alexander and Cleopatra are buried, but it is rumored that when Cleopatra and Alexander died, they were buried together. And that would be the biggest and greatest find in Egypt since King Tut. That's my answer. Let's hit the chat, see what the chat says. What book would you guys like to read, or what would you like to read from the Library of Alexandria when it was burnt? Now, mind you, there is no record of what exactly was in the Library of Alexandria. We just know there was X amount of scrolls from Greece, X amount of scrolls from Egypt, Rome, you name it. The Assyrians, the Akkadians, everything. The Library of Alexandria was the hub of knowledge at the time. So, with that being said, you could make anything up. What would you like to read from the Library of Alexandria? River says that's a tough one. Probably the red worm or black worm. Okay. Was wondering if people had any idea what might have been there. Goody. Yeah, we do have an idea of what might have been there. I actually have. So the Library of Alexandria contained written works from many nations, including Greece, Egypt, Persia, India, and Assyria. The library's collection includes scrolls by Homer, Athenian playwrights, and other authors. The Egyptian records, the library contained a complete set of Egyptian records. And being that the library burnt down during Ptolemy II, in 285 to 246 BC, and Alexander died in 323 BC. So I'm pretty certain that his death and his burial place would have been cataloged in the Library of Alexandria. I'd like the technical manuals describing how the pyramids were actually built. That might be interesting. That might be there. Cats. What cats say? Cat said that book will never be there. Or Puffy said that book will never be there. But what did cats do? Do they have a book on how to get my wife to decide what she wants to eat for dinner? No. Sorry. To do that one, you'll have to come up a few centuries and probably get the book Men Are From Venus, or Women Are From Venus and Men Are From Mars. So, to understand women, they don't even come with a mute button. Yukai Lover, I want to know where Punt went. I think that was the name. It was supposedly a friendly neighbor to Egypt, but it disappeared and no one knows where or it was or who they were. Well, that's interesting. 42 is the answer. What was the question? Ron, that is a question. Puffy Cheeto, wonder if there would be a book regarding where Atlantis was, or even if it existed. Probably. That is probably a best bet. Well, you know, Caesar did burn the library down. Accidentally. He set fire to a bunch of ships in the harbor to try and force people out of the city of Alexandria, and the fire just got away from him and started down the street and burned down the library. So you can blame Caesar for that. But I also don't take that into... I take that with a grain of salt. I mean, if things in the Library of Alexandria were secretive, like the resting place of Alexander and Cleopatra, and nobody wanted to recognize that or find it or let anybody find it, burn it down. Wife dinner, some things mankind is not meant to know. True. Their funeral barge went down somewhere in the Mediterranean. Ron. Yep. Barring those, either the Book of Enoch or the Book of Jesus Christ, both are books in the Bible that were excluded for various reasons. Yes, River, but remember, the Library of Alexandria burnt down almost 200 years before the birth of Jesus. So maybe not those books were in the library. BC, not 80, BC. It was a major regret of Caesar's. He mourned the loss of the knowledge. It was. He did mourn it. Like I said, it was an accident, but it still happened. All right. So that's hopefully I gave you a good and valuable answer there, Kirk. Let's see who our next contestant on Rogue Advice is. Who sent me a question? This question is from River. If some ancient eldritch horror ate a happy memory of yours, what memory would it eat? I had a long thought about this, River. And based on my personal history, I have very few, would you say, happy memories? I guess my happiest memory that the eldritch horror would eat would probably be my 5th birthday, where back in the day, we went all out, McDonald's went all out, and McDonald's had birthday parties there. So, it's probably my most happiest memory. Everything else has just been, but not too bad, but not too good either. So, maybe the eldritch horror eats the day I met and married my wife. That's a happy memory. Anyway, shooting it to the chat. What happy memory would an eldritch horror eat from you guys? Kirk, there was a very happy thing in my past which no one knows about. I think that demon ate everyone else's memory of that event. Or it's a false hydra. If everybody else doesn't remember it, and you do, false hydra. Is that the first time I've mentioned false hydra in this 6 episodes? Maybe? No, I think I maybe twice now. Anyway. Or false hydra. Fair. Probably today I met my first love. River. Yep, that's always a happy memory. Puffy Cheeto, the birth of her kiddos. Also, it's always a false hydra. Yes, it is, River. Yes, it is. And I'm drinking water tonight. Always a false hydra. All right. We are 22 minutes into this thing, and we're only down to 2 questions, and we have 4 more questions left. Let's see the next question. Oh, wait. Hold on. We got something else in chat. I have a weird memory from childhood of taking a nap on a sunny Sunday afternoon while The Land Before Time was on. Quite a pleasant memory. Cats, before I read the last half of that, I could not think of anything other than sunny Sunday afternoon, lighter shade of brown. It's a song, but I'm glad you ended the rest of it with afternoon while while The Land Before Time was on. Although, is Land Before Time a happy memory or is it a sad memory? I mean, it gets you in the feels. Needs to be a water brand called False Hydration. Nice. There you go, River. There's $1 million idea. Just bottle tap water and call it False Hydration. Ruby, her memory would be the day she was 12 and a half years old and Ron was 18, July 25th, 1984. We met for the first time and knew we would be married after 90 minutes talking. You guys grew up together, didn't you? That's quite a long time to be together. Bravo. All right. Our next question of the evening comes from Ron, of all people. Hi, hey pirate. Wondering if anyone has some minis for show and tell. Does anyone do their own terrain? Well, thank you for the question, Ron. Now, for the most part, the rest of this question, if people want to answer it, they can do so in the Discord. Go and put pictures of your minis in the Discord. However, Ron submitted a couple pictures. I only used one because they're both similar. Just one was missing a character, I'm assuming. So, and then I took a picture of my minis. Now, my minis are a little different. I do have some D&D minis in there, but I also have a different set of minis lumped into some of these minis. Now, the ones that are lumped in, I painted myself. The others were a box set, and the gray ones I haven't even started painting yet, but they're part of my board game, The Wrath of the Chardalon. So, with that being said, here are the minis. The top set are the vintage Ral Partha minis from the 80s that Ron sent a picture of. And the bottom are my minis. Now, I have them right here in front of me. I will show them as soon as we get back to the camera. And there was one that I could not find. It's here around the house somewhere, and or in the office somewhere, and it is a sun dwarf, a golden sun dwarf mini. But I have a fire wizard, I have a Axe Barbarian, and he dropped. I do have a Ranger, an Elvish Ranger, a Wood Elf Ranger. I have a Druid. I have an Assassin. And then I have all of it. Oh, wait. I also have this be a Gnome Paladin. It's a Gnome Paladin. And those are the ones from the set. I also have a Kobold Fighter and a Beholder. But those aren't the ones that I painted. Wait, hold on. What's this one? This one's also from the set. Nope, this one is a dwarf character from the Wrath of Ashardalon. I haven't painted him yet, but he needs to be. But these are the ones that you saw in the picture that were in the back. These I painted 2006, 2007. And it is a TTRPG. But it's my Orc Boys. My Orc Boys on a motorcycle. And my Orc Boy with a chain gun. Or a chainsaw gun. And another Orc Boy with a chain gun. He's also got his hand missing because he got his hand chopped off. So it's missing. And in my favorite, or one of my favorites, I actually have 3 of these. I've only just painted one. But I also have an Orc Boy helicopter that I painted. So, and then the biggest mini that I have, and I don't know if you would call this a mini. Would you call this a mini or would you call this a maxi? But I actually have a Shadowlon. Cool little dragon. Came with the kit. Came with the board game. But those are my minis. I'd like to see everybody's minis in the Discord who has minis. And if they've painted them or if they've bought them painted. Now, with the second half of the question, does anybody still do terrain? If I had a larger space to set up my tabletop game, I would definitely have terrain. I love terrain. With Warhammer 40K, you absolutely have to have terrain. So I have done terrain in the past. I don't have terrain currently. What's going on in the Discord or in the chat? Puffy Cheeto has a ton of minis. Mine are still in boxes right now due to space when we move. I understand. The rest of my Orc Boys are still in a box, still not even painted or put together. So trust me, Puffy, I get it. Kirk's had some minis from the 70s, literal lead. The box they are in is in black of oxidation. I hear that's a bad thing. It is. So, again, this helicopter is pewter. And I actually, you can actually still get this. You can't get it here in the States, but you can still get this particular model and any of the pewter models for Warhammer 40K. You can get through Games Workshop's UK. You can't get them from Games Workshop's United States. They just don't make them here. But that's where I got that. Was Games Workshop UK. Kat says Grandpa gave him a box and a copy of AD&D along with what he believes are lead minis and very old dice. Probably lead minis. Yukai has a lot of minis. 90% are unpainted, and I got only because I thought they were pretty. I'll get a few picks tomorrow or Sunday in post. Yes. You can actually get the box game like I have for my Wrath over Chardalon, and it comes with minis. But there's a box game that's called The Legend of Dritz. And because they don't make the Dritz mini anymore, they're using the same mold for the actual Dritz mini in The Legend of Dritz. It's a little different. It's unpainted, but you can paint it. So if you're missing a Dritz, get the Legend of Dritz board game. River doesn't do terrain, but he does hand-drawn maps. I absolutely like hand-drawn maps. I'll use a hand-drawn map to accent my big, large map of Faerun that I have. So Kirk grew up playing minis, but not terrain, just pre-drawn maps. Later used dry erase marker sheets for maps. Now all is online. Perfect. River used to have more minis, but now mainly only have some custom Hero Forge ones. Hero Forge is a great place to go make minis if you want to make a mini straight of your character. Ron painted those minis with testers, not detailed, but good enough for the 3-foot rule. Yeah, I can see that. Tletna, good evening. All right. I hope that sufficed you, Ron. On to the next question. What is my favorite quote? Now, this is another question from River. Now, River, unfortunately, I don't have just one favorite quote. I have many favorite quotes. And the more people get to know me, the more they realize that I talk in movie lines. Everything that happens has a movie quote related to it. But I have compiled a list of my 5 most favorite quotes. And the first one comes straight out of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Archaeology, because I'm an archaeologist, this is one of my favorite quotes. Archaeology is the search for fact, not truth. If it's truth you're interested in, Dr. Tyree's philosophy class is right down the hall. So forget any ideas you've got about lost cities, exotic travel, and digging up the world. We do not follow maps to buried treasure, and X never, ever marks the spot. And 70% of all archaeology is done in the library. The second quote, probably one of my favorite quotes, and actually 2 of these quotes on this list are said by the same actor. So, but this quote brings my military background into things. So, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have any money. Archaeologists, we don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go, now that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will unalive you. That's 2. And that was said. That was spoken by Mr. Liam Neeson. The third quote on the list, and I'm going to run through these really quick. The third quote on the list is from the Blues Brothers. It's got a cop motor, a 440 cubic inch plant. It's got cop tires, cop suspension, cop shocks. It's a model made before catalytic converters, so it'll go on regular gas. What do you say? Is it a new Bluesmobile or what? Fix a cigarette lighter. That's 2. And actually, I misspoke. Because while Liam Neeson said that the previous quote, and Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi said this quote, Dan Aykroyd says the next quote also. So there's actually 2 sets of quotes on here said by the same actor. Before we get to that, there's something going on in chat. My top 2 are by H.L. Minkin and Frank Miller. Kirk says, why does the floor move? River, the noir hero, is knight in blood caked armor. He's dirty and he does his best to deny the fact that he's a hero the whole time. Frank Miller, okay, I like it. James, personally, I would think Art Corner would be the place, but let's see what the others say. What are you? Art Corner in the Discord, Yukai Lover. That's fine. Most of mine are book quotes, Yukai. Okay. I do book quotes too sometimes. Puffy Cheeto, the quote I use the most of the majority of my bios in social media is I am what I am and that's all I am. Okay. Pulling out a little Popeye, eh? Yukai Lover, fine, great. Into the jaws of death once more. Must be a Tuesday. Riley from Julie Kagawa's Talent Saga. I've not heard it. All right. My final two quotes are the evening. Again, this next one's by Dan Aykroyd. Now, he only did this one live and in the Universal Amphitheater in a live concert in 1985. And you can only get it, you can only hear this quote if you've got the album Briefcase Full of Blues, I believe. But it is the opening intro to I Can't Turn You Loose. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Universal Amphitheater. Well, here it is, late 1970s, going on 1985. You know, so much of the music we hear today is pre-programmed electronic disco. We never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft anymore. By the year 2006, the music known today as the blues will exist only in the classical records department of your local public library. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, while we still can, let us welcome from Rock Island, Illinois, the bluesmen of Joliet Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers. It's always a good song. That's always a great intro. Especially in 1985, how Dan Aykroyd saw 2006, the blues going absolutely to the public library. Talentna doesn't have any favorite or can't remember them at least, but she did just find and share a quote the other day. Blessed are the cheesemakers. That is from Monty Python and the Legend, and the Life of Brian. Blessed are the cheesemakers. River, I'm so meta, even this acronym. Nice. All right. Now, my final quote that I have collaborated is also from Liam Neeson, and it says, Colonel John Hannibal Smith. I don't subscribe to coincidence, Corporal. I believe that no matter how random things might appear, there's still a plan. Oh, I will post another quote in the Discord because we got to keep moving. But I have another quote that kind of goes along with this quote that I'll post in the Discord. All right. Kirk said, I had a friend use that fix the cigarette lighter quote on my new car. Never did replace that lighter. Talentna, anything you want to post from Monty Python, I will be sure to probably get it because if we go to my phone here, and I will pull this up real quick. Should have it. Oh wait, there it is. I have the Ultimate Python soundboard, and it goes through Life of Brian, Holy Grail, Meaning of Life, and then Flying Circus. Now, the one you were listening to, let's turn this up. Let's see if we can hear it.
Blessed are the cheesemakers.
So, yeah, I know my Python. Look, when I was in the Army, Talentna, I actually had the sound bite of it from Holy Grail of the guy getting shot with an arrow, and it would fwing, message for you, sir, for my text messages. I also, before I got promoted, my ringtone was "Help! Help! I'm being repressed." So, yeah, I'm big into Python. Once again, the universe reminds us that their most basic law. They're not only stranger than we imagined, they're stranger than we can imagine, which is what makes them so much fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Moving on. Are we on this one? Nope. That was the one we were just on. So let's go to here. Barrelmancy or owlbear from the top rope? This is another River question, and I'm glad River asked this question, although I want to take it a bit further. I want to do, what is it? The druid wild shaping into a falcon, flying up in the air, and then wild shaping into a whale, and then dropping for 20d6 or 20d8 worth of damage. But that's just me. But on this one, I'm going to say owlbear from the top rope, only because if we're doing it video game, then I can see barrelmancy, but having a whole ton of barrels of gunpowder on your person will be encumbersome. So druid wild shaping to owlbear jumping off the top rope, I could see that happening more than I could see barrelmancy, though I do like barrelmancy. So it's a toss-up. What did everybody else say? Barrelmancy or owlbear? Ron, quick, stand on my shoulders and pull me up. I'd like to see them do this on television. The universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. Yep, absolutely. Kat says owlbear, bar none, but barrelmancy is definitely entertaining. That's it. Barrelmancy is entertaining. Before Monty Python, there was the Goon Show. Yes. Also Benny Hill. Don't forget Benny Hill. That's why you have a camp cleric to hold on to all those barrels. LOL. Oh, well, yeah. Or you just get a barbarian and just max out the barbarian strength-wise and just strap them on him and then send him in and have somebody shoot a firing arrow at him. Hopefully the barbarian can take, 100 d6 worth of damage at that time. But River says, also, yeah, owlbear, 100%. It's too epic of a way to kill an enemy. Absolutely. Everybody's saying owlbear. I think owlbear is perfect. It really is. So, yeah, it's just owlbear is so much fun, though. All right. We've got one more question, I do believe, and it is also from River. So, again, that's why tonight's episode is Treasure Down by the River. So, with that being said, let's get on to it. Now, this question is going to lead us into Chat. And it may lead us to the end of Chat, but I want to hear from you guys after this question. Should we take what Chaz started doing and only did like 2 episodes or maybe 3 episodes of and continue it here sometime? D20 debates. The debate tonight: robots versus zombies. Now, I actually did some research on this, and the research that I did states this: the ultimate showdown. It's a classic battle of the brains versus bronze, or rather, circuits and gears versus decaying flesh. Let's break it down as fictional clash. Advantages of robots: the intelligence and strategy. Robots can process information quickly and execute complex strategies. Durability. Robots are built to last. Robots can withstand harsh environments and heavy damage. Precision. With accurate sensors and high-tech weaponry, robots can target zombies with deadly accuracy. Advantages of zombies. Numbers. Zombies often come in hordes, overwhelming their opponents with sheer volume. Persistence. Zombies don't tire or feel pain, and they're relentless in their pursuit. Infection. A single bite can turn humans into zombies, rapidly expanding their ranks. However, if we're fighting zombies versus robots, then the infection kind of isn't there. Unless, of course, you are playing a Warforged, half-human Warforged character with internal fleshy organs. Here's your possible scenarios. Robots with long-range weapons. Robots could use their superior firepower to pick off zombies from a distance, avoiding close combat. And the second scenario is the zombies' overwhelming defense. If zombies manage to break through robots' defenses, they could swarm and potentially overpower them. The outcome, it's anyone's guess. Depends on the environment, the type of robots, and the kind of zombies. Imagine the chaos in a city versus an open battlefield. Before I get to the question I have, I want to pose this answer to you. What if the robots were replicators from Stargate? Now, I did that research too. The advantages of the replicators. Replicators are robots. They're nanites. They're nanotech. Replicators can use any available material to create more of themselves, quickly growing numbers, including human flesh. Remember that. Advanced technology. They possess sophisticated technology and can adapt to various threats. Resilience. Replicators can reassemble themselves even after being damaged, making them hard to defeat. And then, of course, the advantages of the zombies are the same. The possible scenarios. Replicators could quickly learn to adapt to the zombies' behavior, finding ways to neutralize them effectively. And the zombies overwhelmed. The zombies' strength lies in their numbers, but they might struggle against the replicators' advanced technology and ability to self-replicate. The outcome, given the replicators' technological edge and adaptability, they might have the upper hand in the battle. However, the relentless nature of zombies could still pose a significant challenge. Until the replicators start using the zombies' bodies themselves to start replicating the replicators, and then you have nothing but replicators. So, in the answer to River's original question, robots versus zombies, I'm taking robots all the way. Robots, hands down. Let's see what chat has. Why not both? Embrace Yama and behold power of father machines, glory of Pyrexia. Okay. Depends on the context. If it's the zombie apocalypse, electricity is in short supply, or do you consider Warforged to be robots? Warforged are constructs. Robots are constructs. Warforged don't run on electricity, and robots don't have to run on fossil fuel electricity. Robots could have solar power electricity. So, robots. Are these Resident Evil zombies or Evil Dead zombies, which are scary or just random, weak, slow zombies? I was thinking of more as the Walking Dead zombies, but I haven't seen... I don't watch The Walking Dead, but I prefer the Resident Evil zombies. But I was thinking it to mean either The Walking Dead zombies or zombies from a zombie movie, not necessarily any one specific zombie at a time. It's always the meme questions that get the most in-depth answers. Love it. It's what I do. Zombies, a la I Am Legend. Yes, I know they weren't technically zombies. I just see them that way. Would win. I have a literal fear of robots and would just cry if they were around me. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Love that take, River, but then they killed Jaya indirectly, so that would make me your enemy. Then, since Jaya's the best fire granny, okay. Yes, River, you are this stream's deranged necromancer for a reason. Though I'm pretty sure an army of replicators would absolutely destroy any undead army that you create. Borg zombie robots. Yes. Now, again, the replicators would still, I think, would take over the Borg. Or the Borg would assimilate the replicators, and that would just not be that would just not be right, Ron. That would not be right at all. Replicators avoid this, but robot disadvantage is needing ammo for range attacks, so it comes down to how big the zombie horde is. Equal numbers, robots, 100 versus 10,000 zombies. Okay, I can see that, because zombies can work together in larger amounts to rip apart smaller numbers of robots and creatures, so you're fine. You're fine, Kirk. I can read through the lines. We're referencing characters from Magic the Gathering, Yawgmoth and Jaya Ballard. I'm tracking now. All right, so we're in chat, and everybody's seeming Borg versus replicators would depend on who adapts better. Yes, but here's the thing. The Borg only adapt to power weapons, right? And since the replicators don't use any power weapons, the replicators can get in and get through the Borg shields easily, and the Borg frequency modulations have no defense against that. So, saying that, Borg or replicators? I'm still going replicators. Replicators for what, 2 seasons of Stargate of SG1 were the big bad. I mean, they were destroying everything. The Borg would become the Mechanicus Adeptus. Probably. But those are my answers. Those are my answers to tonight's questions. Next week, I should have more of the pirate outfit. I'm supposed to get my coat back on Thursday next week. So I will be again in pirate garb. I do want to showcase at the end of tonight, I do want to showcase a book that I got. And it is called The Pirate Primer, Mastering the Languages of Swashbucklers and Rogues. And it's basically a compendium of how to speak pirate. So I will be learning this before May, before the Norse Forge gathering in North Carolina. Did want to ask, I asked it in the Discord, I want to ask it here. Who wants to help me next week build a character from the ground up, from first level or from 0 level to 5 level for the Norse Forge gathering? If you do, shoot me a comment in the Discord, shoot me an email, say yes, no. But we're at the end of the show because River has to go play video games and I have to get out of the pirate outfit. So at the end of the show, we would like to remind everybody to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the things, rate the podcast, do all the fun stuff. I do want to apologize for the beginning of the podcast for not having the microphone. It was a technical glitch, but as people have said, if it's not rogue advice if it's not glitchy. So, with that being said, if you do have questions, please feel free to email them to me, and I would appreciate them before Friday, like Wednesday at the latest. I will accept them all the way up till Friday, but it gives me time to actually input them and do the things that I need to do. But if you are so inclined to email, the email is roguebardadvice@gmail.com, and it looks like roadbardadvice@gmail.com. So with that, join the Discord, say hello, we have fun, it's fun, and I will see you all next week. Thank you and have a good night.